I don't know if it's going to or not. It says you're live. I don't know where we're at, but I don't know which one's crazier, this computer or YouTube. They seem to be fighting us over getting online. Well, they'll find it. I'll give them a minute or two to find it. I'll see if I can't fix some of this problem. Homesteading the hard way. Hey, look, Chris or his wife one's made it. Y'all. We're having a hard time getting this thing to work again. We're dealing with issues, apparently. I don't know why. It can't be simple today. How's y'all's week been?
Alfred.
Hey, Alfred. I'll talk to him. I'll try to get rid of this.
Well, I was trying to see if I could get it on my phone where I could tell whether or not.
Apparently, we got some kind of sound because I can see it moving a little bit, but I don't know. I'm trying to get it on mine too.
Oh, well.
Can you hear us? Well, do we have any volume?
I don't know.
How about now?
It's loud and clear. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, we got that problem fixed anyway.
Yeah, because it'd be really funny if our mouths were moving and no sound come out.
Well, it did it on the last one we tried. The last one, about, what was it, 17 minutes? It just all of a sudden the volume just cut off and it was like a old silent film. People started typing in, hey, your volume's not working. Hey, we can't hear you. Apparently Google decided we didn't need no volume.
We're still trying to figure some of this stuff out.
It's giving us a hard time. I don't know why.
Alrighty. Oh, well.
Anyway.
Now that you got it figured out.
At least we got it on. That's the most important thing. We can see, they can see us and they can hear us anyway. I'll fix the rest of it later.
Yeah.
We've had a kind of adventurous day.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not near as adventurous as it was 16 years ago.
Oh, not really, but
Today is our son's 16th birthday. And we started the morning off riding with him to Columbia to get his driver's test taken. And
then there, well, the best DMV for us is over an hour away.
yeah, I don't do very well anymore traveling any distance, especially if you get more than one lane of traffic. I'm kind of started getting a little bit nervous, but I kind of kicked back and put a coat over my head so I didn't have to see where we was going. And he done great though. He not only passed, he got a perfect score. And I went to the counter with him. I'm the one who has to pay for everything apparently. And
it works out that way.
Oh yeah. And I was standing there when the instructor told Jessie to cherish these words because she does not say them often, but he done very good. She was very impressed, and she does not
use the word impressed.
Use the word impressed, but he was probably one of the first ones she's ever told she was impressed with his driving. And of course, being Mama, I was very proud of him. I was like, "All right, way to go!" It's fun, but it's also very nerve-wracking Because now all he wants to do is drive around in his truck.
Oh, we didn't get to ride the interstate.
Oh, no, 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 no.
We went up Highway 412. It's 2-lane. Well, it's 2-lane and 4-lane both. It's wherever they decide to make it a 4-lane.
Yes.
It kind of goes back and forth after you leave our county.
I
You
don't
leave our
know.
county, go to the next county. They widened it in several places, but
Well, he is definitely a natural born driver, but it probably helped a lot that when he got his permit, I quit driving when I had to. And so him or Brett One drives everywhere we go.
you're a backseat
And
driver.
I'm a horrible passenger.
Backseat driver.
Spent a lot of times going slow, 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 slow down, slow down, slow down. And that the invisible brake pedal in the passenger side that doesn't exist that you stomp when you think they should stop. And I screamed only a few times in this last year that we was teaching him how to drive. I think I grabbed a hold of more than once. So he's got a lot of experience with somebody going into a panic style attack on him while he's driving. So he was pretty calm, I guess, with the instructor today.
Well, we let him drive to up there, and we go through. Both cities is bigger than ours, but Columbia's a good sized place. So we got him there a little early and took him around a couple back roads where the test used to be. Anyway, it wasn't where he actually had to go, but we showed him the signs and how they kind of done things, because their speeds is different than everybody else.
Yeah, and in a span of maybe mile and a half, we went through a 30 mile, a 25 mile, and a 45 mile, and a 40 mile. The speed changed that much. Well, I got tickled on the way home. We had used our daughter's Envoy because it's smaller and it's more like Jesse's truck than our Expedition is, because we have one of those extended length Expedition. So it's a lot bigger vehicle, and her vehicle is closer to Jesse's truck size. There's just not enough room for all of us to fit in his truck, to take in his truck. So I was in the back seat all the way up there, so I kind of threw the coat over my head where I didn't have to see anything, and I could relax and not freak him out before he got to his driver's test. And then on the way back, my legs was already stiff from being in the back seat. He asked if his dad could drive home. He wanted to relax. He didn't sleep too good last night because he was excited. I'm like, sure, go ahead, because I wasn't wanting to get back in that back seat again either. And about 2 miles down the road, I looked at Jesse and said, okay, I may need you to come back up here and drive. I kept Brett, I said, okay, your son's a better driver than you. Mm-hmm. All the way home, I was like, he done better than you did. And Brett was like, I let him drive. He can drive again. I said, I can't get in the back seat right now.
I keep it between the lines anymore. That's all I care.
Well, you're supposed to keep it between the yellow line and the white line, not the two white lines. There's a little bit of a difference.
I didn't make it all the way over.
Only halfway.
I was thinking I didn't drive like my daddy.
Well, at one point that's true. But at one point you did have the yellow lines going right down the center of the truck.
That's school bus driving. When you get on a small road, I'm supposed to take my half wherever I can get it. When you haul kids, you get that choice, but
I understand completely. I don't get car sick in the back seat, but I do like my leg space.
The flashing lights it gives you, the flickering lights, and
oh yeah, sitting there, because we had to sit over where they take the pictures for the driver's license, and I kind of just sit there and stared at the floor, kind of looked like I was out of it, because they would go, okay, step in front. Don't move until you see it flash. And I'm like, I don't want to see it flash. The time we left the DMV, my head was spinning. I don't do flashing lights anymore. They kind of cause head issues for me. But now, I had to say, he done as well today, and he was impressed. I was impressed with the little feller. 16 years ago, he wasn't supposed to be born till after Christmas. That was when he was originally scheduled to be born. Yeah, he didn't wait around. Uh-oh. Right around there, school buses don't really get right of way.
Well, they don't really want to give you the right of way, but most time we're bigger, so they've got a choice.
Well, you also
I won't
got
cause a wreck, but I'm not going to hit the ditch for nobody unless the truck's bigger than I am. I might have to stop in the road and make them drive around me, but I'm not hitting the ditch unless they force me into it. They're going to have to push me.
about half your route it's 2-lane road, but it's barely big enough for two big vehicles to pass on.
I've got 2 or 3 inches on each side of the bus if I stay inside the lines.
Yeah, and a lot of the road that you travel in the bus, there's no, what do you call that thing on the other side of the white line? The suicide, whatever they call it. There's nothing over there except a ditch on most of his route. The white line is at the edge of the pavement. If you get off the pavement, you're sliding down into a ditch. And some of them are very deep hollers. So he kind of has to drive more towards the yellow line on those roads because there's nowhere for him to go. And when he meets somebody, there's really not many places for him to go.
We still have to slow down and try to hit the wide spots, and I'll turn the bus and give them enough room to get started by me, and then I'll gas on the bus a little bit and turn the steering wheel back and make the back end go away from them. That's about the only way they can get around in some places.
Yeah.
Kind of wiggle.
Some of the roads on your school route, one of you has to stop and let the other one go by. Yeah, we have the interstate's road. One lane is about as big as some of these 2 lanes are.
My first pickups on the road, if we don't both leave the road by 24 inches at least on both sides, we hit each other.
Yeah.
So the road ain't big enough for 2 vehicles.
Mm-mm.
I like the back roads. I ride 60 miles a day of them.
Yeah.
Ernie Hatmaker, look at there.
Yeah, she waved as she drove by our exit today.
Not too bad. We was on the complete different end.
Oh, he's on the other
way
end.
Back.
Oh yeah. It's cute being right smack in the middle between Jackson and Nashville. Oh, it was so cute. The other day, we took our FCA group down to Loretta Lynn's Kitchen, which is down the road at the interstate.
Next county.
And they got so excited. They put us in one of the off rooms where all of they call the wall Loretta's Friends, and it's just pictures of different country music singers and actors and actresses and stuff that's on this wall. And there was a mannequin in there of Loretta in, I guess, her wedding dress or something.
We've got 2 kids. One's grown and another's 16 today.
And it was so funny. They was all sitting there going, "She's staring at us. She's staring at us."
Our picture does.
Well, the mannequin was staring us down pretty good. And then they asked how they got the mannequin that small, because she had like a tiny, tiny waist.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them asked if that was one of her childhood dresses, because it was so small. But yeah, it's fun. It's funny when you get the kids out and take them places. Oh yes, we have 2. Our daughter is 22.
Married.
Been married, what, 2 years now? Woo.
2 years.
And Jesse turned 16 today. So there's 6 years difference in them. When Jesse was born, Samantha told us, thank you for having her a real live baby doll to play with. We had to keep telling her she wasn't the mama and that she couldn't play with him like a baby doll.
I was saying, not the mama,
Not the mama, not the mama. And she heard that a lot when he was little. But she was a great help. I mean, she would sit there and play with him and talk to him. And those two now are, they're not just brother and sisters. Well, that's where he is right now. He's took off to her house. He was going to go, she was cooking him a birthday dinner. We took him out to the Mexican restaurant for his birthday after we come back from getting a license.
And we're still eating it.
Oh, yes. And that's his favorite place to go, is the Mexican restaurant. So, and then his sister said she was cooking him deer meat for supper. So he's like, okay, I'm going to Samantha's, and out the door he ran. So he's getting his Mexican and the deer meat for dinner. So he's enjoying himself. They got his stereo put in.
I think so. You didn't tell them why we like driving the Black Expedition. It looks like the law enforcement around here, but it's a solid black Expedition,
Yeah.
Extra long, kind of dark looking on the inside, especially if I wear dark clothes. Or we can ride up behind somebody and they'll slam on their brakes and drive just as perfect as they can, as long as we're behind them, because they can't tell the difference. They think we're one of them undercover state troopers in our state. So they run solid black vehicles sometimes undercover.
Yeah.
All we're missing is a few antennas and some blue lights. You know. We have a lot of fun with this.
I like it because I don't get crowded even if I do sit in the back seat.
No.
I've got plenty of leg space in that one.
It's a nice big vehicle.
Yeah. That's a good one. Like Ernie said, sounds like her children, her daughter and youngest son, she practically smothers him. I like that.
Our daughter lives
Across the yard.
400 foot away. We own 2 houses, well, 3 houses and a house trailer, and she's in the furthest one away. It's acre and a half, almost somewhere between acre and a half, 2 acres there.
Yeah. Used to drive an old sheriff's car. Oh, I'd have way too much fun with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, way too much fun. Well, this one, and we do get lots of looks.
Oh, yeah.
First time we pulled it into the church, they thought the Secret Service had stopped by. Because that's what it reminds me of. Either that or pallbearers for a funeral. Because funeral homes use those solid black Expeditions, extended cabs and stuff.
Need to find some old magnetic base antennas. Just stick a couple on top of it every once in a while. Place them different places. If we tinted the windows or put the blackout kit on the lights, they'd probably run off the road trying to get away from us.
We get behind a lot of law-abiding citizens when we do that.
Especially if you run up on them right quick and you ride the brakes, get right on their bumper, then back off for a few seconds. They back off too. They get really slow, real straight. No, they wouldn't do that to anybody.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Jesse also is having a blast today because you put his stereo in. Brett took some time out. He was doing some things this afternoon, and me and Jesse was sitting there looking at the stereo we bought him to put in his truck for his birthday. So Brett kind of just set stuff down. He said, "Okay, let's put it in." So me and Jesse, I don't know which one was us more excited about the stereo, me or Jesse.
He didn't have no door handles or window handle in the back of his car.
Woo! Once they got in, they didn't get out. Mm.
He didn't have no problem keeping his kids in.
Oh, no. Ooh.
That's better than child law.
That's where you would sit boyfriend down before they talk to your daughter. That's what you do on that.
Needed one of them.
Well, let's just have a seat in the car. You get in the back seat.
We needed one of them, didn't we?
I don't know. They might have helped a little. We just scared off a few of them she had. I think you scared 1 or 2 of them off to begin with, just meeting you. They asked who her father was. She'd point over to the side and goes, "The very big one over there." And usually Brett was standing amongst people that barely came to his shoulders. He's head and shoulders taller than most of them. And so he kind of really looked huge to them. And so they're like, "That's your father." And she's like, "Yeah, that's my daddy." Yeah, they didn't come back to say hi to her anymore. They got scared off just by seeing him. But and then the ones who did shake their hands, you did get a little rough on their handshakes sometimes.
I gave him a good manly handshake.
You almost broke one of them's hand.
He needs to man up.
Brett squeezed a little hard. They were in the boot under the spare tire. Didn't know that till he sold it.
That'd be fun though.
It would be funny. I'd enjoyed that too, way too much. Way too much. I'd had fun with that. Oh, so Jesse's boom, boom, bada booming with this music.
Yeah, we couldn't have no regular.
Well,
It
it had to
was
be
a
special.
DVD MP5 with a reverse camera. I don't know it. It does way too much for a radio.
It has a reverse camera. It has Bluetooth to his phone. So, like he was sitting in his sister's driveway a while ago, and he called me. And he
From the
said,
truck.
I'm at Samantha's. I'm calling you from my truck. He enjoyed that. So, he can talk through his truck. So, we can talk with him. Although he's not supposed to touch his cell phone when
Just
he's
thought
in
of
his
something.
truck.
I left a comment on Miss Ernie's page this morning about eating greens. She thought it was you because I said something about grazing and rabbit food. I was just
Not
picking,
me.
but I didn't sign my name to it, so she didn't know which one actually wrote it.
Oh, you gonna get me in
I
trouble,
like the
huh?
greens, but she thought it was you because she thought he was being
Yeah.
ugly about it.
No.
I was actually being funny. I wasn't trying to be ugly about it because I like a lot of greens.
You do eat all the greens around this house. I don't eat a lot. Lettuce is about the only green I eat.
But the first thing came to mind years ago when I worked in the factory. I worked with a man that enjoyed his alcohol even at working.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in the afternoon on his way home, he would wind up running off the edge of the road and getting stuck. And they, instead of talking about him running off the road and getting stuck, they started calling it grazing. They said, "Oh, your truck's just hungry. It ran off the edge of the road and had a little grass." I want to know if he went grazing yesterday. And she was talking about eating greens. That was the first thing popped in my mind. Is that old man? He always said it was all right. The truck was a little hungry, wanted to eat a little grass. But he said when he got thirsty, he said, "I got a little scared." He didn't like it and he went for a drink.
That's what you used to tell our daughter when you was teaching her to drive. She started going off the side of the road and says, "Nope, the truck's not hungry. Get back on the road. We can't go grazing today." Yeah, if I don't watch it, he'll get me in trouble. Commenting. You can blame me for it, and I won't know it.
Just trying to get a little laugh out of him.
Oh, yeah.
You usually refer to it as rabbit food.
Mm-hmm.
Grazing was my thing. But rabbit food's what you usually call it.
Yep.
Or grass. You asked me why I'm eating grass.
When it looks like something the lawnmower has already cut, not food. It's not food. My grandmother, what is that called? Poke salad?
Yeah.
She'd go out in the yard. I'll never forget it, I guess. I was little. I was watching her out of the window. She got a pair of scissors and went out in the backyard and started cutting the grass. I had no idea what that woman was doing. Then she come back in and had a pot of boiling water. She throwed it all off in there after, she washed it in the sink. And I'm like, "Mama, why are you washing grass?" She goes, "This is good." I'm like, "It's grass." And she goes, "No, it's poke salad. It's good." And then
There's my old homestead.
she put it in the
That could
boiling
be another
water.
Brett there.
Ah.
Had one guy taste for corn one time.
Well,
Them cornfields around here sometimes looks like something got hungry.
uh-huh.
See the big wave out through the middle of it and back out most of the time. Sometimes they don't make it back out. It's a little wet. They don't come back out them bottoms.
When that green stuff got done cooking, it didn't
See.
look like nothing I wanted to eat.
High bread is bread. It gets confusing when I'm on a live stream with somebody and he gets on the live stream. They're saying hey bread or hey bread and sending back and forth. And it's like, what are they really talking to?
Just call him back. Oh me. Yeah, corn. I'll have to use that next time we go by the cornfield and there's a big old streak through it. We'll have to look and say, oh, that truck got hungry. He went for the corn this time instead of the grass.
We used to slide around the empty cornfields after they picked them, get a little wet out. Like a two-wheel drive truck, you could hit it really fast and start sliding. You could do donuts and you could slide something like halfway across it before it ever stopped.
You get in trouble for that kind of stuff.
Oh, you had to wait till dark.
You still get in trouble for that kind of stuff now.
That was a long
There's a
time
lot
ago.
of things we used to do when we was growing up that you can't get away with now.
He's like me. He'll answer to almost anything.
Well,
I have to.
when he worked at the factory, yeah, that does it too.
They was sowing corn. He went everywhere.
Yeah. When he worked at the factory, he had what? 3 different nicknames?
I don't know.
He wore a black t-shirt every day. I'd go out there and get his check or take him something. I had one lady stop and ask me if I washed that same black t-shirt every night for him to wear it. I said, no, he has about 15 black t-shirts at home. Because that's all he wore was black t-shirts. And so they kind of got to nicknaming him Johnny Black.
Well, before I went there, I was a mechanic, so I stayed black every day working on old equipment. It didn't matter about the shirt. Shirt was dark. It kind of blended in. I could wash most of it off, but you can wash up to your elbows and be able to get in the truck anyway.
Cornfield at 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. Like I said,
yeah.
They were sowing corn. They spread it everywhere.
Backwards. That was funny. The other day, our daughter subs. She's in college. And and they she was talking to one of the kids, and she told them they asked her something if she would ever done something. She didn't really tell me what they asked her, but she went, "Oh no, my mom and dad would have knocked me backwards if I'd have done that." And the kids started laughing, went, "Backwards? What's a backwards?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, backwards." And one of the kids, he got to laughing. He leaned the chair back and he goes, "I'm going to knock myself back." And when he did, he falls out of the seat, slides across the floor, and hits his head on the shelf. My daughter looked at him and said, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah,
so they
that hurt." And
like a cartoon character, they dress the same every day. I do.
You do now.
I got on color today.
Oh, he went with a red shirt. But the young man, he said, "I knocked myself backwards." And so they got picking at him about going backwards. And Samantha looked at him and said, "That's why we don't try to knock ourselves backwards. We hit ourselves." But they had they had a hilarious time with the backwards. Yeah, you wear the same thing every day to now because they got y'all uniform shirts.
I got shirt and pants, but I hardly ever wear the shirt anymore.
Well, or two. If you forget your name, all you gotta do is look down at your shirt.
They wouldn't call me by it anyway.
No, you're a bus driver.
After a certain age of kids, they don't call you by your name either, but we don't want to talk about what they call you.
Yeah.
My work actually pays for my uniforms, so I can't complain at all, no matter what they look like. Even when they don't wash them good.
They don't wash them good.
Some of them looks like I just crawled out from under a bus. But
he gets them back, and I said, "Did you forget to turn it in?" He went, "No." I was like, "Well, it doesn't look any cleaner now than it did when you took them in to work."
Don't usually smell much better either.
It's all good. You?
That's the reason I wore black shirts, because they covered the grease pretty good.
Yeah.
Except you got sprayed with hydraulic oil, they couldn't hardly tell you was nasty. Hydraulic oil discolors everything. Your shirt from then on will be different colors for everywhere it hits. It changes the color of it.
Well, when you worked out at the factory, they had what was that powder?
Oh, my first job was in talcum powder with all them black shirts.
He'd come home white. He would
I
go
come
to
home
work
literally white.
with a black shirt, come home with a white shirt. That was how much powder was floating in the air. And that was bad.
80 to 160 pounds of talcum powder a day. I used to help dump some of the bags.
That was a rough time.
Well, some of my clothes get clean. Some of them, I think some of them they just forget or they wad up and don't wash. Or some of them looks pretty good.
Well, now sometimes you get in some kind of grease that don't come off anything.
I think they mix my clothes in with some other people's clothes, and they get into something that won't come off, and it gets all over everybody's uniforms. But
Oh yeah, they probably throw them all into one big washer.
like somebody grinding using a disc grinder, they sent me somebody's shirt by mistake one day, and the whole belly of the shirt was brown. The uniform shirt's blue. I mean, it was just brown, ground in like they use a disc grinder every day or something like it. I politely returned that shirt.
It didn't have your name on it.
Mm-mm.
You're not supposed to wear a shirt without your name on it. Somebody might call you by the wrong name.
Well, they occasionally bring the wrong pants and the wrong shirts, and
Now that happens. They're probably a big company.
they mix my clothes in with some of the other boys' clothes. That's real funny.
Oh yeah, the time
Now
when
that's it right there. There's one of them I know it won't come out. Filled full of grease.
Oh yeah.
I have a talent of getting close to anything like that. It jumps on me.
Oh, in the yeah,
don't
you
have-
attract it.
I can just walk by and it jumps on me.
I got tickled. One of the smallest men that works with Brett got a pair of his pants one, and he got a pair of that man. They got them backwards. And Brett come home and he got the pants off the hanger and he looked at me and he goes, I don't think these are mine because they were so small. I don't even think one of his legs would fit in it. So the next day he takes them back to the work and trades them back with a guy. I think the guy could have fit in one of Brett's legs. I mean, he's a small guy.
You got my shirt one day too. He wears a large. I wear a 5X. He put it on, stepped out of his closet, and showed it to his wife.
It probably looked like a dress on him.
She enjoyed it from the way he talked. She got tickled at him. It looked like a 10 on him.
I imagine so. Imagine so. Oh man, that is comical times at the bus barn.
Yeah. We try to have fun.
But you gotta have a little fun at work. If you don't, it gets dull. Especially when you have stressful jobs. Then they get kind of a little. You get cranky if you have a stressful job and no way of having fun.
Oh, I guess we need to explain why we're on here this early too.
Why are we on here this early?
The school let out sickness.
Oh yes.
The flu is run rapid around here. Kids are falling out with the flu left and right, so they had to let school out.
This was supposed to be our last full day before Christmas break, but we got out yesterday and today. Bless it. Our little school has, which we're a small school. It's like 215 or 16 kids in it. And we had like 72, I think, at the end of the day. We had like 72 kids out. So that was a large percentile of our county was sick. And it's really been bad. They don't even recommend you going to the store or anything unless you just absolutely have to, because apparently this flu has really been just running. I mean, just easily, very highly contagious or something. I don't know.
I really hate transit buses. Conventional buses is kind of like a road truck. You can do a lot better with it. But
Is-
the wiring is the worst thing on a school bus. You can get around the engine pretty good, but the wiring is just it's crazy.
The Transit's the one you sit in the dashboard.
The Transit's flat nose bus.
Yeah, you sit in the dashboard. That's what I call that bus. Because it really looks like you're sitting in the window.
You can
Those
see
are
really
not
good.
fun. Well, I'd hope so. You're sitting right there in the window. There's nothing between you and another vehicle but a glass.
You'll be the first upon the scene of an accident.
Well, but those are dangerous. You have an accident, you're going to be right there with it. Yours is a long nose.
It's conventional. It's like a road truck. You can lift the hood and work on it.
Like I said, it's a long nose. You got a little bit of
We told
distance
them
between you and the
do
other
not
vehicle.
buy any more transit buses. We had a choice there after a while, and they make a pretty good long conventional bus. Transit bus, you get more seats. I've seen some around here with water tanks on them. School bus cut down. Spray tanks on the back for the sprayers.
There's some people make them into homes.
And there's a few around here people live in.
Mobile home.
Well, there's one on YouTube, it's self-reliant homes, self-reliant. I can't think the rest of it. Roadshow, self-reliant roadshow. He rides in a school bus.
You can fix them suckers up. Make a nice little one of the mobile home things because you can buy an old school bus pretty cheap.
I've seen one cut down to something else. I don't remember what it was. I'll sleep, junk all now. We're finna get rid of 8. The state of Tennessee offered a grant. We had to apply for it, and somehow we've actually won this grant. We're finna destroy 8 school bus engines. We got to cut the frame and destroy the engine, and the rest of the bus we can do what we want to with, and they'll give us more or less 75% off 8 new buses. But we've got to cut the 3-inch hole in the engine block, and we've got to cut the frame in order for the state to pay the money.
They're trying to get the old.
And that's hurting a lot of feelings, cutting through all them Cummins and Caterpillar engines.
It's more what is it? Environmentally friendly buses.
Okay, we're going to have to ask Ernie, what does she need converted buses for?
She said she's seen some nice ones.
Oh, she's seen. Okay.
Yeah, she said I've
I thought
seen
she
some
said she
nice
wanted
converted. She's saying that she's seen some that's been done up really nice, and you can. Some of the old school buses, especially when they run out of years or mileage that they have to be sold, they sell pretty cheap, and then you can turn around and sink a little more money into them, and you wouldn't have half of what a mobile or RV whatever,
Still have a bus.
and you can still have a nice livable space.
Mm-hmm. You just won't get nowhere very fast. School bus ain't got 185 horsepower. It can weigh 30,000 pounds and go 15 mile an hour that way.
I don't know.
You can't get parts after so long either. They quit making, especially Bluebird. After 10 years, you can forget a lot of it.
Ugh, they don't sound like fun.
1990 model.
It's only a few years old.
That's Ford.
It just keeps on going, okay, apparently.
We had to 2012 we worked on the last couple of days. It broke the belt tensioner. The water pump locked up on it. It's Cummins engine. You'd think a 6.7 red engine, you could go out and buy one.
Mm-mm.
Well, the one at the auto parts only fits the pickup. The buses we've got a bus that was wrecked, and we went out and took parts off it. It's a different year model, so the tensioner set a different direction. The water pump was made a 1/4 inch different than the previous year was. We had to order parts just for a 2012 6.7 Cummins engine school bus special.
parts for a bus is expensive too.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
The water pump that they sell at the auto parts was $60. The one for the school bus, which looked just like it but made this quarter each different, was $120. And to look at them sitting on the table, they didn't look hardly any difference other than the impeller. One was metal, one was plastic. But the housings made just a little different. It won't go in the same place. You don't know it until you get it down there, and it's a transit bus, so it was. They say the Chris I worked with at the bus shop was very upset by the time he handled that pump 2 or 3 times, trying to reach off in the hole. And we despise them too, because he had reached down to the top of the engine while laying on it, and I had to crawl under the bus and reach up through all the hoses and with a screwdriver that was long enough to hold the water pump, because neither one of us could actually reach the thing. So we had to hand stuff back and forth.
Oh.
It gets kind of comical at times. But you get upset, you just have to walk away. There ain't nothing else you can do.
No, I was just remembering the day you come out of school to work on the, what do you call it, transit bus. And I was walking up the hall, saw a couple of people staring out the window or the front doors of the school, and I'm like, what y'all looking at? And they going, we're trying to figure out where the rest of your husband went. I looked out there, and all you could see was feet, because the rest of him was down into the bus trying to work on that, get something off the engine, a number or something off the engine. But all you could see sticking out of the bus was his feet. They're like, where's the rest of him? Looks like he's got the doghouse off and he's down into where the motor is. I'm like, okay, is he okay? Do you think he needs help? And I'm like, nah, he moved. He'll be all right. They were just sitting there watching you going, is he okay? Is he hurt? And I'm like, no, he didn't fall. He has to go off that way to get out into the motor. But I did eventually walk out there and tell him that he was entertaining them very well in the office, because they were watching to make sure he didn't get hurt. Yeah, because all you could see was your feet.
It gets rough sometimes.
I'm like, he's just standing on his head for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Now he was talking about the bolt-on parts. The belt tensioner we bought, the pin was 60 degrees off from another pin. You could lay them down. They was mirror opposites of each other. You flip them up right side up and look at the back side, they look identical. But one would hang straight out on the engine and the other one stick straight up. Completely different way the belt run. It's the same looking engine. Most parts of the engine would swap. From afar, you wouldn't know the difference in the two. Somebody got a better idea one year.
Hmm.
No, we take them apart. I take the tensioner apart and swap parts, and take 2 or 3 and make one sometimes.
Hey, I did get excited the other day. We did clean up the office and we got it ready. Well, office / junk room /
closer
catch all. And we're almost getting ready to get the shelf all set up for seeds. That's what we was talking about on the last live stream we were attempting when the volume went off. We've got that all set up and ready to go, almost. Now we just got to wait for it time to plant some.
We got more seeds too.
Yeah.
We got on Samson Farms live the other night. I'd entered his giveaway sometime or another. I done forgot what it was. And he happened to mention he was going to draw for the giveaway, and we won the seeds and the dibble.
That was pretty cool.
I can't wait to get the dibble. I want to see it.
I
haven't held any of his woodworking stuff. I've seen pretty up close pictures, and it looks good.
Yeah. Same engines.
For years.
Well, it keeps you from having to renegotiate parts.
Yeah. Well, the old ones was really easy. When I first started working on school buses, they had 12 valve 5.9 Cummins, and The next one up was the 24 valve. I like the 12 valve one. It was a lot easier to work on. It was all mechanical engine. They'd been the mechanical throttle where it would open the bus up. You go pick up a bus and it'd turn 200 or 300 RPMs more than it's supposed to. You'd climb the hills better. You'd raise the hood and the throttle linkage would have a bow in it. That's the first thing I got fussed on. I started working there. I raised the hood on, well, it was the transit bus. I raised the dog box on it. Right next to the seat was the throttle linkage. I looked down and I thought, well, that throttle linkage looks bent. I took my foot and I just mashed it back down flat. That woman cleaned my plow the next morning when she had to drive that bus, and it wasn't hard to pull the hills. When I bent it back down, it wouldn't turn near the RPMs it would the way she had it bent. Her husband wanted bent that linkage up where it would rev up better. I wasn't thinking about it. I just seen it was bent.
You thought you were fixing it.
It was an old bus and it had lots of issues. Ain't none of them run good, but it would pull the hill better. They had a lot of stuff on the old bus. It was better than new ones. These new buses ain't fun to play with. You've got to have a computer to hook to them because it screams and hollers and you have no clue what's wrong with it. If the water sloshes in the tank, it'll scream. They go around a curve too hard. I had one the other day. He was complaining because his bus was alarmed every time he turned off on a certain road. I said, exactly how fast was you turning off? When I hooked the computer to it and finally got to the alarms, it showed the water in the holding tank had sloshed. The antifreeze had sloshed away from the sensor on it. He's turning in pretty swift.
So did you tell him to slow down and it wouldn't alarm?
Operator error is what I've learned the words. That's what the man I work with calls it. And they ask what was wrong with their bus, he'll look at them and say, operator error. It's your fault.
Ah.
Yeah, the school's fitting to buy a $8,500 scan tool for the buses because we're tired of the computer system. I've got a laptop with thousands of dollars worth of software on it, and I spend 2 or 3 days a week upgrading and updating and reinstalling, and it's something all the time. If you don't, you get way behind. I let it go for 2 or 3 weeks sometimes, and nothing on it works. You got to go in there and spend half a day.
Especially like while we've been out for Christmas break, and we go back after 2 or 3 weeks.
It won't work.
Yeah.
I think they're keeping up with me. I think it has to report in every day is what it is, but without it, you can't deal with a new bus. It has too many sensors on it. It knows too much.
I just noticed you got a big old leaf on that tree over there. A bush or whatever that is.
Okay.
I know, I rabbit trailed on you. I just looked over there and there's this. I'm like, what happened to the little bud that was on that? That thing's really bloomed out. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's funny.
It was a little bitty tiny bud the other day, and now it's pretty cool. Yeah, rabbit trail.
Spell it. IDIOT. Yeah, we used to give him work orders when I was in vocational school. We'd send somebody after that part number. Idiot.
Okay.
And we had it worked out somehow on
There-
parts. We can give them some kind of some kind of little list of parts, and you'd have that on there. It was funny, and they went and asked for that.
Yeah, y'all can be a little mean.
You send them after metric crescent wrenches or left-handed screwdrivers, or
Isn't the left-handed screwdriver the same as the right-handed screwdriver?
I guess it depends on which hand you hold it in. They go ask though.
It's like, yeah. They're showing how green they are around tools. Then, huh?
Oh yeah. Once it starts breaking, yeah, you send them after something good. I worked in a factory. They made rubber products. We made well, the first one I worked in made gaskets. Fits a bucket, 5-gallon bucket. Made millions of them a week.
Mm-hmm.
The new guys, they would send them to I worked in the maintenance shop. They'd send them in there for a rubber stretcher. That was one of their number one things they'd send the new guy for. It was more fun to hand them something than it was to try to explain to them there really is no such thing. If it's cut wrong, it's cut wrong. So you pick out some kind of big tool and hand it to them, and they tote it back out, and they go back out on the floor where the production line was and try to figure out how to use it. Rubber stretchers about like a sky hook. They're hard to find.
I don't think I was ever that adventurous.
Air Force sent people after prop wash. They'd make them go get a can of prop wash or a bucket of prop wash. They said it was really scary when they showed up with some.
Imagine so. You send them for something that doesn't exist and they bring it back. Oh. He bought 2 wrenches. One was standard, one was metric, and adjust 4 inches. The mark's the only thing different on them. We had a crescent wrench one time. On one side, it said something about metric on one side. It didn't have no markings, but it was just a big crescent wrench, and it had another on one side and said something else on the other. We convinced them that was a metric crescent wrench because it had metric in big letters all down the handle of it. It's like an 18 or 24-inch crescent. Yeah, go get that metric crescent wrench. Bacon stretchers. Okay. I'd have to say a bacon stretcher. That's for sure.
Gotta keep it interesting somehow.
That would be interesting, for sure.
We're supposed to get a heat wave tomorrow. It's going to be 54 degrees.
Well, that'd be good.
That's a big change.
It's supposed to be up near 60 by Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be around the 60s. We're hoping to actually get out and get some stuff done. We got a house trailer that needs to be demolished.
It's a lazy day. I'm still hoping somebody else would want to come and demolish that house trailer. I don't really want to do it.
Yeah. I always like getting on the Snap-on truck, but I hardly ever got off with anything. It just hurt my feelings when they'd price something. They've got some really neat tools. We're actually buying their scan tool from Matco for the school buses. They have they worked something out with the Bluebird company. And that's what we use, all Bluebird buses. And it has a Bluebird setting in it. It does everything on the Bluebird we needed to, all in one little division. It's a flat bar with a handle to keep flat while frying. Yep. Bacon stretcher.
I call that a skillet, flat iron skillet. It's my flat bar. I slap that sucker down and.
That's your spatula, huh?
Mhm. That's how I keep my bacon flat when I want to keep it flat. I use that smaller flat iron, set it inside the bigger skillet. Bacon ain't gonna curl up. Has no room to grow. But that would be cool. You need to make me one of those.
You got
A bacon stretcher.
I don't think we need one.
Oh, okay.
We would never find it in this house.
True.
It get put in a really special place.
We'd put it up.
Yeah, it's in a lot of things in really good places around here. We just haven't figured out where they're at. We don't remember where that good place is.
The sad part is every time, it never fails. Every time I say, I'm going to put this up where I won't lose it.
We don't.
I don't lose it. I just never find it again. And I don't remember where that special spot is.
Mm.
Then eventually you'll find it when you're moving things around. Go, oh, that's where I put that. Of course, by then I don't need it anymore. Oh, me. I'm tired.
We've actually had good luck this time. This thing's running good now. Yeah, they're hard to find. Have looked really hard for them.
Oh, man. Hey, he was going to try to find it.
He was dedicated. He stayed gone looking for it.
I forgot to go get me any popcorn today.
Yep, we didn't go to the bulk store.
I didn't go get me no popcorn. I'll have to go get popcorn tomorrow. We have this little country store, and they have the best popcorn.
It's a bulk goods store, I guess you'd call it. It's over close to the Amish Mennonite area. So everybody thinks it's all home done stuff, all homegrown.
Some of it is.
They call it the
most
Mennonite
of it's
store,
not.
but it ain't got nothing to do with them because it all comes in on a road truck. 99% of it comes in on a road truck.
Well, they do have some local stuff that people put in there and sell, but the bulk of it comes. It's just like a big bulk shipment thing there where they break it down. But they have big popcorn. I mean, it pops up big kernels. I'd rather have it than I had anything else. I forgot to go get any today.
I thought about using the camera and doing the video of that place, but it'd be more fun to watch the people that pulls in that really don't know what it is. They think it's a Mennonite store and they think it's run by the Amish and they get all excited. They can't imagine where they get all this stuff at.
Well, we just let them believe that.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the draw.
It's still funny though.
They think it's precious. They still ride in horse and buggies. It's really funny is the people that own the property beside them has horses. And I guess they think those are the people that own it. And it's like sitting right beside their church. So
It's a good sales pitch.
yeah.
They buy lots of stuff thinking they're buying it from the Amish.
Bless them.
I go by it with a bus pretty much every day. I see the road trucks bringing it in. I know the people that runs it real well.
Good people. I like going over and
He walked away. We was talking about a store that's it's not hardly in the Mennonite country area, but we've got 2 or 3 different groups of Amish and Mennonites. There's what looks like a country store. It's a bulk goods store. They buy it off the road truck in big containers and break it down into small bags, so everything's individually wrapped in little plastic bags. People, out of county people, travelers come through on this old road and they think it's a Mennonite store. They think all this stuff came from the Amish over there in that community. And they buy all kinds of stuff thinking they're buying, homegrown, home goods, things made by the Amish. And there's no telling what country it comes out of or what state or. Cause I see the road truck back up there at least once a week.
What about 20? Maybe 20% of the store is actually local stuff that people make and stuff locally, because they have some artwork there. They have the sorghum
The honey.
and the honey. They have some stuff that is locally grown
Very
by them, but the majority of the store comes in on a road truck. But it is part of the draw. It's just a cute
said,
little store to go to.
The family that lives beside it has horses. They're not Mennonite. And the Mennonite church is on the other side of it, so it kind of blends in really well.
And like I said, the people that own it is just real sweet people. They make you feel welcome. I love going over there. That's where I get a lot of my that's where we get a lot of our spices and stuff. And I love the popcorn they sell.
If the Amish or the Mennonite, I use both because we've got a blend of both here. They kind of live in the same areas, but they kind of, again, they're kind of off to themselves. If the Amish or the Mennonite has something, usually for sale, they've got stands out next to the road.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll have signs at the end of their driveway. They'll hang their placards out there and let you know they got something for sale.
Yeah.
So they're really not selling in that store, but it looks good.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like going over there and getting. We got plants out of this. One of them one year. One of the families over on the creek.
I used to buy plants from some of them. Got where I grow my own, but.
There's that one lady that she didn't sell last year. You used to go over and buy all your pepper plants from this one lady, but she's got to where she doesn't sell anymore.
I use the term both the Mennonite and the Amish because we have some primitive Amish that has no running water and no power, no motorized anything. It's all horse-drawn equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They live away from everybody. And we've got some that does have a vehicle for farming or a tractor. Or you got some that drives big diesel pickups and blows you off the road every day.
He says there's a lot of difference between Mennonite and Amish. There is here, and they correct us. If you call them Mennonite and they're Amish, they'll say no, I'm Amish. And if you call them Amish and they're Mennonite, they'll correct and say no, we're Mennonites. Or they will correct. I've asked one of them, and they said they're not Amish or Mennonite, they're just Christian. So they just, I get to where I just smile and say, it's a wonderful community.
They're a lot of good people.
Oh,
but they're all little.
Okay. Did we go off? Unable to connect to chat. Oh, this went off. It says we're still in live. No.
Well, I guess we lost our connection.
No?
No, we can talk to us, huh?
Yeah, for some reason our live chat.
We've lost Chad. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of difference. Okay, Homestead the Hard Way say all Amish are Mennonite, but Mennonites are not Amish. Bufford A. Little.
Oh, you can get the chat there. Okay.
Yeah, I pulled it up on the phone.
Just quit working on the laptops.
Says we're back though. We're just not back on the laptop. That's okay.
Well, we'll read it off phone.
I have to mute me though, because this is
When I was a kid,
irritating.
the Amish I was used to,
Oh.
they was all primitive. They didn't associate hardly with you. They would work for you for a price, but they didn't ride in your car. They didn't want anything you had other than money.
I love going over there because they have some of the best recipes.
They
I
lived
never
in
feel
their
like
own
I said,
little
I can't.
community and took care of each other. And I growed up with one of the Amish boys. When they come over to work, my grandparents would hire them to do things because back then I was just a little big kid and wasn't able to help, and they wasn't able to do a lot of things. They'd bring their little boy over and we'd play together while the parents worked. And they was primitive. You couldn't hardly get them in a vehicle. They'd ride the horse or walk before they'd ever get in somebody's car or truck. Like I said, then we got some that does own some motorized vehicles or tractors or equipment. You got some that drives big Dodge diesel pickups, and they're carpenters, and they blow everybody off the road. They blow black smoke all over you every time they go around you. Like many levels.
There's one lady over there that makes the best bread. It is wonderful. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the whole computer then buffered and chat cut off and everything started flashing, and most of it's come back. We still don't have chat on the laptop. We're using Mozilla. It looks like Mozilla's got an issue because it's flashing. So that we'll keep going. If somebody wants to keep talking to us, we'll keep talking for a while. I don't know if we're interfering with anybody else's live stream or not. Or even, I watched several, but I don't know of anything right now. So. Oh, you're playing. Okay.
Oh, you know I'm playing. I always play on the computer. Oh. Maybe you can get it to. Ah.
No. Yeah.
Try again later. I hear you clicking.
Yeah. I thought I'd try it and see if I can move it and get it to come back, but oh well. We'll work it the way it is.
I don't even have it now flowing on mine.
Ernie's still with us. I see Ernie's name on there.
It buffered and then it just buffering messed it all up, didn't it?
Yep.
Oh. Click, 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 click. Oh, man. Oh, we've been going for over an hour.
We've been here quite a while.
I mean.
I just look and see if there's anything I can change. It ain't gonna let me.
I can't tell. I can't get the chat down here either.
Chat going on yours now?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I guess it's gonna shut us down one way or the other, huh? I'm gonna see if I can get it on mine, see if we can keep up with this.
Hey, I bet, hey. Oh, here it comes. We have the same problem. It'll help your watch time a lot. There we go.
You got chat back.
I think so, maybe.
Mm.
I put hey, and then those other two popped up, so I
Yeah.
can't tell.
Our watch time ain't gonna do much for us. So we're still under 200 people. So
Eh, just trying to have a little fun.
we're trying to get it figured out on this computer. I don't know if it's quite up to par or not. We borrowed it from our son. It was his. All I have is a desktop, my old one. So our tablets are old, so we're gonna have to come up with something better, I guess. Might have to plug into the network next time. Give it a hard wire.
Maybe.
It might be our Wi-Fi here.
It should. We got the new stuff.
Yeah, we got the new fiber hookup.
He said we get there. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna hammer it out one way or the other.
I'm just not really good at the technology stuff myself, so I don't do a lot of the helping a lot.
I downloaded the OBS today. I was gonna try the OBS like Two Family Homestead was talking about. And that's what I had set up originally when I got set up the live stream. Everything was ready. I hit the go live button and both of them aired at the same time. They was both fighting for the control of the cameras and the microphone. Neither one of them wanted to give it up. So both of them aired and I had to shut them both off to start over.
Got monetized. How you say that?
Well, congratulations.
Well, good job homesteading the hard way.
I know you wasn't really interested in them being paid for what you do, but there's bound to be some good benefits to it.
Yeah, kind
You've got a whole lot of hours, so you should be able to use the most of the benefits around it anyway.
That's really good.
Now, Samson Farms has got a video out trying to help his time too. Two Family was talking about setting up a live stream that lasts for hours. He got one on with a fire burning fireplace, sounds of fireplace or something like that. Like a 3-hour live stream or a 3-hour video that you can go and watch, which helps his watch hours.
They're going to wait a while though. That's very good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're getting all kinds of commercials on there for too long.
Nah. They said they was going to wait a while though. Oh. How did thought? Oh, you was talking about the fireplace? Yeah. I freaked out some of the teachers the other day. I was looking up songs for our Christmas program, and I found a video of a fireplace burning that had Christmas music playing in the background. So I clicked on it to play on my computer while I was sitting there. Teachers would walk in there and they'd look at me and go, "You have a fireplace on your computer. How did you get a fireplace on your computer? You have a fire burning on your computer." I'm like, "Yeah, it's on YouTube."
Sometimes we laugh for it to be a real one.
I just clicked on her. And they said, "Well, does it keep you warm?" And I said, "Yeah, because it makes me think warm thoughts." And I have dual screens on my computer at work. And so on one screen, I had Christmas pictures flowing through. And on the other screen, had the fireplace with the Christmas music. I had some teachers just come and sit at my desk and watch the fire.
That's what Two Family Homestead was talking about. The OBS software, you can upload to it and upload music to it, and you can set it up and it'll just run for hours if you wanted to. You can make it loop and display. People come and watch as much as they want. I wanted the OBS software because it's supposed to be better than what I was doing, but I've got to go back and be the tiebreaker, I guess, between YouTube and OBS and make one of them decide which one's got control, which one don't.
He said he's been told YouTube promotes you more if you're monetized.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I watch the Cedar Creek Homestead. When he hit 1,000, he instantly started climbing. It took him a long time to get to 1,000, but once he hit it, the numbers just started tripping every week.
I still get tickled when you say Cedar Creek Home Creek. Because we got one of those here in Perry County. It is funny.
I think he's at 3,000 and something now. It's only took him a couple months to triple.
That's
So
really
apparently
good.
they're putting his name out there, and he's pretty neat to watch. I mean, he's laid back, just seems to be just a old farmer.
We just
I don't know if we had something near or not.
we had we've been talking about getting us an intro song or an intro to our channel. Told Brett the other day, I think we have our son has a guitar and a what do you call it? A beatbox? Is that what he calls it?
Yeah.
And we have a bass guitar. I got tickled. I told Brett, he said, we need to get him up with a little bit of a music to go into the intro. And I told him, we could do that. We could just, he goes, we'll hum something. I said, we'll get Jesse to do the beatbox and we'll pick a little something on the guitar. We make it all creative. It can be our own special sound.
It's bound determined. It's not giving it back on the computer.
Yeah. He said it makes sense. YouTube is making money, so of course they want people to watch.
Oh yeah.
Some of them advertisements just keep popping up and popping up.
Ads are. I got one the other day. It was 29 or 30 minutes long. I said, that's not an ad. That's a whole nother video.
It was longer than the video we was watching.
Let's see if the pop-out chat works.
Pop out. Well, it's getting close to Christmas. It's just around the corner. Before long, all the Christmas lights will come down.
Hey, it works on this one.
Hey.
We got our chat back. I can't see a thing, but hey.
Can you not move it over?
There we go.
You disappeared. You're hiding behind the chat now.
I know, I'm hiding behind it now. They can still see me, but I can't see me. That's a lot better picture for me.
Oh, I enjoy Christmas lights. I really like the way they look. But,
they give you a bad migraine.
They have really... It wouldn't be so bad. The migraines don't hurt. They just really cause me to, I don't know, sound like a child. I have trouble thinking, and I have trouble making sense of anything or sounding like I know what I'm talking about. And it really affects my thought process. So, like today with the flashing cameras at the DMV and then coming through, it's one of the reasons I quit driving at night unless I absolutely have to, because I cannot stand the headlights. I'm getting to where I can't hardly stand the sunlight, the way it flickers in and out of the trees. The flashing lights just.
I think we got the chat and everything working again.
The flashing lights just really bother it. So I'll be excited. Oh.
Is that better?
Oh, there you are. You're back.
It's a good hiding place.
But a pretty face. I can see your pretty face. Yeah, as much as I love seeing all the Christmas lights, I'm kind of getting ready for them to all disappear as well. Be stored for another year.
There's Ed, Ernie's husband.
Oh, hello. He's the one that does the models.
Yeah, he's the one that does the models. He must have lots of patience.
Hey, you had a remote control truck you used to work on all the time.
I still got it.
I'm gonna have to break that out one day and see if it
We've
still
got to do a
runs.
video on it one of these years. It still run. As many times I took it apart and put it back together, it'll run one way or the other.
Those things was fun. They go up hills I couldn't walk up. They were fun.
I have to get on. I might pick up some RC people that way. They'd really like the old truck.
Well,
It was what, 90s when we bought that thing?
oh. Well, see, we
90.
married in what, 94?
Mm-hmm. Some 94, 95 model probably.
Somewhere in there, because it was one of the first years we was married. See, when we were dating, before we started dating, Brett would spend a lot of times, he would take popsicle sticks and VCR motors and make toys out of them, pretty much. He had a bulldozer. What was the other thing called that scrapes the dirt up?
A scraper.
A scraper, a bulldozer.
That was a
No,
skidder.
it was a skidder. And what was the other one? You had
I don't
three.
know. I had several over the years.
But he had made them all out of hot glue, popsicle sticks, and VCR motors. And so when we were dating, I would go to his house, and he had this big desk in his room where he made all this stuff. And I'm thinking, you have a stack of sticks. And then when he started running and them things actually went and they would move, it was neat. So when we first got married, he bought a monster truck.
Bought several little ones, but this was a big one.
Yeah, I let him invest in the kit, the assembly, build the whole thing. And we probably have had that thing. Had it since before Samantha was born, so it's probably about 24, 25 years old.
It's 95 probably, and I bought it.
So he's had that for a long time.
Had lots of money, still got lots of money tied up in it, really.
And it's really cool. We'll have to get that out one day and show them what that looks like.
I know there's Facebook channels devoted completely to it, and there's probably YouTube channels. There's a Tamai Clodbuster. It was a $300-$400 kit back then. Yeah, I saved pennies. I rolled pennies for this thing.
Mm-hmm. He says it's taught in patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried model building as a kid. I didn't have the patience. I could put them together, they just wasn't pretty. I couldn't put them down and leave them alone. I'd get started and I couldn't stop. I'd make a mess. Because the glue wouldn't dry as fast as I wanted to go. Well, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and entertaining us.
Have a good evening, homesteading the hard way.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, I always wondered how in the world anyone could afford the planes, because one miswhack and you drove that thing in the ground. Woo!
It's an expensive mistake.
Yeah. I've watched I think one person fly one of them, and he crashed that thing straight down into the ground. I was like, ouch. Because it was one of them expensive ones. It was $200 or $300, and it was junk and he only flew it once. First time he flew it, he crashed it.
I had one on wires, but I needed to have one. It was RC. It had the handle on the wires. It was hooked to it, and you basically turned in circles to fly it. Yeah, you had to be good and steady on your feet, or you get drunk quick flying this thing.
You fall down.
You had to kind of lean back and hang on to it and let it go.
We've been riding for an hour and 24 minutes.
Yeah, we've been on this for quite a while.
Oh. Yak.
One of his became a dirt ogre.
What does that mean?
It dug into the ground.
Oh.
It's found its permanent resting spot. It bored in like a mole. That would be bad.
That would hurt.
We bought RC trucks because there's a lot of gravel pits around here. Well, it's called around here. It's called chert. It's an orange rock. It's clay and it's dirt and stuff mixed together. And it's really rough stuff. But they use it for everything because there's just hillsides of it. When they dig it off, it makes a good place to ride 4-wheelers or motorcycles or run remote control monster trucks. We climbed the hills with the motorcycles and the dirt bikes and everything that jumped over. So you always had to have something a little better. You always had to take it home and try to improve it somehow because it was kind of like a contest between a couple of us. See who could climb the most hills, who could climb, who couldn't, and who could jump them, and who would wreck occasionally or bomb out. You know, it'd turn, go back over the hill the wrong way, and we pick up parts and go home.
That was nothing compared to the year you and Paul built the pulling sled for it. They had a very small pulling sled with weights, the whole 9 yards, and they would hook that sled up to these little trucks, and the skid went up, the weights went up. It was just like a sled that these truck pulling places had, and they would pull to see which one of them could pull the sled the furthest. That was hilarious. That was always funny to watch. Because they would get downright competitive.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 or 3 of you would work. They'd work all week, and then on the weekends, hang out at the house with the pulling sled. With this, well, I say it's a small truck. It's, what would you call it, 1/10 scale? What
It's
it was?
1/10 scale monster truck.
But with their little 1/10 scale monster truck and their little 1/10 scale pulling sled, and they would stay there the whole evening just pulling these little right till the batteries all died and they couldn't charge them up fast enough. They'd be at the house half the night pulling little RC trucks. That was cute.
As long as you had a hot battery, you could do something. I was constantly charging batteries. We had battery chargers set up 2 or 3 at a time.
We ought to fix that up and let you show your son.
He's seen it go. It's been a year or 2.
Y'all could have got into that hobby together.
Well, I run the truck for, I don't know, years. And I traded the truck off, the remote control truck, while it was still in good shape. I traded for computer parts. I got into computers, started building computers, and one of the men I worked with had a bunch of parts where he had upgraded his computer, so I swapped the truck for them parts. And he kept it for, 10 years?
I don't know.
That was close to 2000 when I traded him all them parts, or the truck for all them parts. And a few years ago, I run into him. I hadn't seen him in years. We don't work the same places anymore. He told me, he said, "I still got your truck." He said, "Would you like to have that truck back?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'd love to have it back just to show my kids." He said, "We never used it." He said, I traded with you." He said, "I took it home." He said, I had a little kid back then." He said, "He sat on it and broke it." He said, "We put it up." He said, "It's still in a box." He said, "If you want it, I'll give it to you." Of course, when I got it back, it was still broke. Apparently, he sat on it pretty hard. I fixed it, got it running, and I showed the kids how it would run. We're still moving.
Yep.
I just wondered.
Yeah. Been on here for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I never knew you talk so much.
We probably need to fix some supper.
Supper? Oh, yeah. We ain't had that yet, have we?
No, we're still eating the Mexican restaurant.
It's a lot rougher on me now than it used to be.
It was good the first time. It ain't near as good the second, and the third, and the fourth time, but
no, not near as much. But I guess it's about time we sign out of here.
yeah, it's about time to go and do something different. Cook a little supper.
Rest. Enjoy our day off.
Enjoy the day off.
But we appreciate everybody signing in and joining us tonight, chatting with us.
Very excited it actually worked this long for us. Maybe we're finally starting to figure all this out. Remember, our computer's being beat in subjection anyway. We're beaten in submission here. I hope y'all have a good night. We're finna sign off here. Good night, y'all.